Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look in this tutorial at how we can account for changing our wheel and tire size on our vehicle, or if we changed our rear differential ratio, or we've changed or we want to change our top speed limiter on our vehicle. It's all going to be found in a particular area here, a particular tab in the VCM editor software for our file. So what I'm going to do is show you how to update this if you've changed any of these or you want to change your top speed limiter. So if you've changed your wheel tire size, if you've changed your rear ratio, you definitely need to update things. Not only updates your speedo and corrects it for tire size, wheel size difference, or rear ratio, but it also makes sure that the vehicle's speed is going to be recalibrated. So when the transmission control module is doing its programming and calling out things based on speed, it's going to have a more accurate speed reference. And you'll find your shift should happen more accurately for the 10R transmission if you have a 10R equipped vehicle. Let's jump in and take a look at how to do this. It's super easy. I actually have an Excel spreadsheet calculator to further aid in changing these values and just making it even easier. So I'm going to go up to File, Open. I'm going to open up a file based on my vehicle I'm working with here, which is a 2022 Mach 1 Mustang with the handling package. So I'm going to go into Desktop, HPT Gen 3 Coyote, sample log files. We're going to go to our Spark Tuning Borderline. Let's open up this first option here, Spark Tuning Borderline. So this is a file from my vehicle, and it hasn't been changed in terms of our Speedo tab here. So let's go to Speedo, and we can find we have our calibration area here and limiter. Now limiters for the top speed limiter, we'll talk about changing that in just a little bit. Let's go back to calibration. We can find here we have gear ratio and tire size, and there's the final ratio, and there's also speed by engine RPM. This is the NV base. If you've changed your tire size or you've changed your rear ratio, you have to change at least tire size, your values in here, and your NV base. If you've changed your final drive, you have to change your parameters in here and your NV base. If you changed both, you have to change all of these. So let's take a look at this real quick. Use tire circumference. We see learn from BCM or calibration. Now, the tire and wheel size, as well as your rear ratio, is stored in the body control module on your Gen 3. We may need to override that in case if you change your tire wheel size or change your rear ratio. We need to actually override that and use the calibration option in here, which allows us to program it and send it to the engine control module so it can communicate that through the CAN network and to the body control module, so the speedo is updated and your speed reading is updated. So I've set up calibration here. Let's assume that I'm also changing the final drive ratio, and I want to set to calibration. Now, if you haven't changed your rear ratio and or you haven't changed your wheel tire size, there's no reason to do this. Leave the programming alone in your body control module. It's not going to matter. It's not going to change anything. But if you have changed it, this is where you need to make your updates and changes. Okay, so how do we actually program this? Well, first thing is we need to enter in what the actual rear ratio is going to be. In my car, that's a 355, so we're going to enter that in here. Okay, that's easiest starting point here. The minimum ratio here, we can see it set at 3.13. The max ratio here is at 3.77. We can leave those alone. It has a min and max ratio because it sometimes has to float in terms of the learning for the final drive. So we can leave those values alone. We've just simply changed the ratio right here. If for some reason I had a 4:1 rear ratio, I would have to move up the max ratio here above that to maybe something like 4.3, just for perspective's sake. You probably also want to bump up your min ratio at that point to something like maybe 3.5. Again, 355 is here what I have, so I'm between the min and max ratios, and that's fine.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.